Students, welcome to Science Learning Gateway. I hope you all are doing good. Okay, so today we'll start class 8 Science NCERT chapter number 4, and the name of the chapter is Atoms and Molecules. Every topic is covered from the NCERT science book, so you can write down the notes in your notebook also, so that it will be helpful for you during the exams. For the other chapter, that is chapter number 1, 2 and 3, you can go to the playlist of class 8 and check the explanation and the solution of all the chapters. Okay, so let's start with the chapter. First of all, this is the flowchart given in your science textbook. In this, this is basically the introduction of the chapter. In this, what we have to read, let's have a quick look on that. In this, first of all, we'll read about the atomic mass. Okay, first of all, we'll read about atoms. From the atoms, molecules are made. In the atoms, we'll read atomic mass and relative atomic mass. In the molecule section, we'll read molecule of an element and molecule of a compound. After the molecule, we'll read molecular mass. After that, relative molecular mass and gram molecular mass. Next, one more concept is there over there, that is mole concept. And at last, we'll read about the valency. This is a complete overview of the chapter which is given in this flowchart. Okay, so first of all, let's start with atoms. What are atoms? In your previous chapter, we have read that atoms are the smallest particles, and every substance around us are made up of those atoms. Atoms are very small in size. We cannot see those atoms, but then also they have so much importance in our lives. They are so important to us. Okay, so everything around us is made up of atoms, and but the size of atom is very small. We cannot see those atoms, but then also it has great importance in our life. We may not able to see them, but we experience their presence everywhere. Means wherever we'll see, we'll touch, we'll feel, everywhere atom is there, but we cannot see them. But have you think ever that what is the mass of this atom? What is the weight of it? The mass of an atom is so small that it cannot be expressed in the units, like the small units like milligram, etc. Okay, so the mass of the atom is very small. It is the smallest particle and its mass is also very small. So now let's start with the chapter. The first topic is atomic mass. So let's have a quick look on this. What is atomic mass? Atomic mass can be defined as total mass of its nucleons. So this is a new word for you. Total mass of its nucleons. What is nucleon? Nucleons means protons and neutrons. Means protons and neutrons together constitute the nucleons. Okay. When protons and nucleons are there, they are called nucleons present in it. Atomic mass can be defined as total mass of its nucleons present in it. Means it is the mass. Atomic mass can also be equal to mass of protons and mass of neutrons. So this is the definition of atomic mass. Total mass of its nucleus, and it is represented by that letter A. We have read in the last chapter atomic mass, it is represented by capital letter A. So it is equal to total mass of protons and neutrons. Unit. Now let's see what is the unit of atomic mass. Atomic mass unit, AMU is also one of the unit, Dalton is also one of the unit, and other one is unified mass. And the short form for unified mass is U. Mass of one proton is 1.0078 mu and that of neutron is 1.0087 mu. Nearly their masses are more or less same. Okay, the next topic is law of chemical combination. I think we have read about this topic in the previous chapter. In law of chemical combination, we have three laws. The laws of conservation of mass, law of definite proportion and law of multiple proportion. Okay, these laws are used in order to tell about the masses of atom. In order to determine the mass of atom, these laws were given. The first law, that law of conservation of mass. Let's see what is the statement of the law of conservation of mass. The law states that total mass of the reactant is equal to total mass of the product. For example, we have any reaction A plus B give us the product C. So according to this law, the mass of A and B should be equal to mass of C. Total mass of the reactant should be equal to total mass of the product. The next law, law of definite proportion. What is this law? According to law of definite proportion, in a chemical substance, the elements are always present in proportion by mass. Okay, according to law of definite proportion, what they are saying, that in a chemical substance, elements are always present in definite proportion by mass. Means whether it in any of the chemical substance or any of the compound like carbon dioxide, water, anything, the elements will always be present in their definite proportion by mass. Means some ratio must be there between the elements. Okay, the next one is multiple law of multiple proportion. When two elements combine to form different compounds, then the weight of one is constant and the other has simple ratio. Means when how compounds are formed, when elements combine together they form compound. For example, carbon dioxide, water. Then what they are saying, if two elements will combine to form compound, then the weight of one is constant and the other has a simple ratio. Means one of the elements weight is taken as constant and the other will be having a simple ratio. So these are the statements of these law. You should remember the statement. It can be that in your exam you will get write the statement of law of conservation of mass, write the statement of law of definite proportion. You can get the questions like that. Our next topic is relative atomic mass. Now let's see what is relative atomic mass. The relative atomic mass of an atom of an element is the number of times an atom of that element is heavier than 1/12 of the mass of a carbon 12 atom. In this, mass of an atom of a particular element is compared with the mass of a carbon 12 isotope. This is one of the isotope of carbon. Carbon 12 is one of the isotope of carbon. With its mass, the mass of atom of an element is compared. What is the formula of relative atomic mass? The relative atomic mass formula is mass of one atom of the element. Means whatever be the element given in the question, that element if we have to take mass of one atom of the element divided by 112 into mass of one atom of C612 isotope, means carbon 12 isotope. 1/12th mass of one atom of carbon 12 isotope. Let's look at this formula by using a example. For example, we in this they have given atomic mass of aluminum. This is the symbol of aluminum. Atomic number is 13 and atomic mass is 27. Always atomic number is written at the bottom and atomic mass is written at the top. So what we have to take? We have to take the mass of one atom of the element. Means we have to take the atomic mass, that is 27. 27 will write at the top. 1/12 into, then what is the mass of one atom of carbon 12? 12.01. This is the mass of one atom of carbon 12. Next, what will happen? If 12 will go at the top, it will be multiplied with 27 2, and then down we'll have 12.01. Nearly the answer is 26.98 U. So the unit of relative atomic mass is 26.98 U. This is very easy. In your exam, if you will get the question, they will give you the relative atomic mass of the element. After that, you have to remember the mass of one atom of carbon 12 isotope, that is 12.01, and using this formula you can calculate that. In this table, different elements along with their symbols are given and their relative atomic masses are also given. You should learn the symbols of every element, at least till atomic number 1 to 20 you should learn the symbols, so that it will be helpful for you in 9th standard also and in 10th standard also. First element they have given aluminium. The symbol of aluminium is Al, and the relative atomic mass is 26.98. Just now we have calculated the relative atomic mass. Next one is calcium. The symbol of calcium is Ca and its relative atomic mass is 40.08. Using this formula you can calculate the relative atomic mass of all the elements. Next one is carbon. The symbol of carbon is C and its relative atomic mass is 12.01. Chlorine is having a symbol of Cl and its relative atomic mass is 35.45. Like that, hydrogen is having a symbol H and its relative atomic mass is 1.008. Magnesium is having a symbol Mg and its relative atomic mass is 24.31. Nitrogen is having a symbol N and its relative atomic mass is 14.01. Oxygen having a symbol O and its relative atomic mass is 15.98. Phosphorus is having a symbol P and its relative atomic mass is 30.97. Silver is having a symbol Ag and its relative atomic mass is 107.87. So at least you should learn the symbols of elements from 1 to atomic number 1 to 20. Okay, so you should give focus on learning the symbols. Our next topic is gram atomic mass. In this we'll consider the gram. Okay, when gram atomic mass of an element is its relative atomic mass expressed in gram, means the same relative atomic mass we have to take, but we have to express that number in gram. For example, relative atomic mass of hydrogen atom is this one. In that table we have read that relative atomic mass of hydrogen is 1.008 and its gram atomic mass is 1.008 gram. We have to add the unit gram. So what is gram atomic mass? Gram atomic mass of an element is its relative atomic mass, which is expressed in grams. You have to remember that thing. Next topic is average atomic mass or atomic weight. Okay, average atomic mass or atomic weight. The average atomic mass, sometimes also called atomic weight of an element, is the weighted average mass of the atom in a naturally occurring sample of the element. What is this? Is the weighted average mass of the atom in a naturally occurring sample of the element. Some of the elements will occur in the nature. I have told you in the second chapter or third chapter that many elements will get in the nature. Altogether we have 118 elements. Out of that, 90 elements will get in the nature. Okay, so what is this average atomic mass? It is the weighted average of mass of the atom in a naturally occurring sample of the elements. Means what will be the weight of the atom in a particular element. This is the average atomic mass. So have a quick look on the example. Atomic mass of the isotope chlorines are 35 and 37. We have two isotopes of chlorine. In the last chapter we have discussed that there are two isotopes of chlorine, chlorine 35 and chlorine 37. And their atomic masses are 35 and 37. However, in any given sample of chlorine, the two isotopes occur in approximate ratio 3:1. For example, we have a given sample of chlorine. In that, one of the isotope is having the ratio, means that two isotopes are having the ratio 3:1, means 75.5% of chlorine 35 can be there in that sample and 24.5% of chlorine 37 can be there in that sample. Now how we'll calculate the atomic weight of chlorine in that? We will multiply 3 with 35 and 1 with 37. We'll add both the quantities. After that we'll add the ratio also. 3 plus 1, that is 4. And so atomic weight of chlorine will come around 35.5. Therefore, the average atomic mass or atomic weight of chlorine is 35.5. Okay, so in this, the percentage or the ratio will be given of the two isotopes or the three isotopes of the element. According to that, you have to add their atomic masses and multiply with the ratio. After that, the ratio should be added and you will get the atomic weight of the chlorine. So this is your average atomic mass or atomic weight. Next topic is molecule. Okay, what is a molecule? In the previous chapter, we have discussed that molecules are the smallest particle, and in fact all the molecules are also made up of atoms. For example, if you take hydrogen molecule, suppose this is our hydrogen molecule. So how this hydrogen molecule is made? If two atoms of hydrogen will combine together, then hydrogen molecule is made. Likewise, oxygen molecule. How O2 molecule will be made? They will be made by combination of two of the oxygen atom. So a molecule will be formed when two or more than two atoms combine together. Okay, so this is the definition of molecule. A molecule can be defined as the smallest particle of an element or a compound that is capable of independent existence and shows all the properties of that substance. And one of the more important point is that molecules have a capability of independent existence, means they can exist independently. They are stable in their form. Okay, but atoms don't have the capacity to exist independently. This is the main difference between them, that both the particles are small in nature. Atoms are also small, molecules are also small, but atoms cannot exist independently, but molecules can exist independently and they will show all the properties of that substance. Okay, so they are the smallest particles of the element or a compound that is capable of independent existence and show all the properties of that substance. How molecules are formed? Molecules are formed by the combination of two or more than two atoms. Next one, in molecule topic we'll read molecule of an element and molecule of a compound. So what is molecule of an element? Atoms of same element join together to form molecule of element. For example, hydrogen is one of the atom, and next one is again hydrogen. So these both hydrogen are atoms of same element, that is hydrogen. They will join together to form hydrogen molecule, H2. Like that only oxygen and oxygen atom can combine together to form O2 molecule. So atoms of the same element join together to form a molecule of element. In Earth's atmosphere, oxygen is available as a combination of two atoms, O2 and not as O. Okay, whenever you used to write a reaction, whenever oxygen is present, we used to write oxygen in the form of O2 and not as O. Why? Because O2 has independent existence, it is stable, but this oxygen is not at all stable. It will not exist independently in the nature. Likewise, what is the formula for ozone? The formula of ozone is O3. Okay, for formation of ozone O3, how many atoms will combine together? 3 oxygen atoms will combine together, and after that ozone will be formed. So this is also an example of molecule of element. Okay, next topic is molecule of a compound. Atoms of different elements join together in definite proportion to form molecule of compound. Suppose we take an example H2O. This is a compound. In H2O, how many elements are present? Two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. So these two are different from each other. So this is molecule of compound. Atoms of different elements join together in a definite proportion to form molecules of compound. In this example, the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen is particular. For example, 2 hydrogen is there and 1 oxygen is there. The ratio is 2:1. Okay, so in this one, different elements will join together in a definite proportion to form molecules of compound. Example, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen atom combine together to form water molecule H2O. Like that only, one atom of carbon and one atom of oxygen can combine together to form carbon monoxide CO. This is the formula of carbon monoxide CO. It is very poisonous gas which is very harmful for us. So molecule of a compound are formed by the atoms of different element when they will join together in a definite proportion. So you have to remember in this that molecule of element, same element will join together, same atoms of the element will join together, but in molecule of a compound, different atoms of element will join together to form a compound. Our next topic is molecular mass. Okay, what is molecular mass? Molecular mass is the sum total of atomic masses of the elements present in a molecule. It is the sum total of atomic masses of the elements present in a molecule. Means in a molecule, different types of elements are there. For example, H2O. Two elements are there, hydrogen and oxygen. So how we can get the molecular mass of this molecule? By taking the sum total of atomic number of hydrogen and the atomic mass of oxygen. Atomic mass of hydrogen we have to add with atomic mass of oxygen, then we'll get the molecular mass of the molecule. So it is the sum total of atomic mass of the elements present in the molecule. For example, molecular mass of oxygen molecule O2. This is one of the example, oxygen molecule. How we will get the molecular mass of oxygen molecule? By adding the atomic mass of both the oxygen, or if you can multiply with, for example, 2 atoms of oxygen are there, so you can multiply 2 with atomic mass of oxygen. The atomic mass of oxygen is 16. We'll multiply the 16 with 2, we'll get 32U. This is the unit unified mass. Similarly, molecular mass of carbon dioxide, how we can get the molecular mass of carbon dioxide? By adding the atomic mass of carbon with atomic mass of oxygen, we'll get the molecular mass of carbon dioxide. For example, atomic mass of carbon is 12 and atomic mass of oxygen is 16. So what we will do? How many carbon atoms are there? Only one carbon atom, so we'll write 12 for that. Plus, how many oxygen atoms are there? 2 oxygen atoms. We'll multiply 2 with 16. So we will get 12 into 1 plus 2 into 16. 12 plus 32, that is 44U. So the molecular mass of carbon dioxide is 44. Likewise, for hydrogen also, for water also we can do. Okay, so atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. Right? So there are 2 hydrogen atoms. So what we will do? 2 into 2 we will multiply with 1. 1 is the atomic mass of this hydrogen, plus what is the atomic mass of oxygen? 16. So in total what we will get? 16 plus 2. 2 into 1 is 2. 16 plus 2, 18. So 18 is the molecular mass of water. Like this you can calculate the molecular mass of any molecule or any compound. If you know the atomic mass of the elements, you can calculate easily. Okay, our next topic is relative molecular mass. The relative molecular mass of a substance is the ratio of the masses of the molecule of the substance to 1/12 mass of an atom of carbon 12 isotope. What is this relative molecular mass? Relative molecular mass of a substance is the ratio of the mass of the molecule of the substance to 1/12 mass of an atom of C12 isotope. For example, this is a formula of relative molecular mass. In this, at the top, what you have to take? Mass of one molecule of the substance. Means we'll take the mass of one molecule of the substance and we'll divide it with 1/12 into mass of one atom of carbon 12 isotope. If in the question this mass will be given, this mass we know, that is the mass of one atom of carbon 12 is 12.01 U. Then you have to take these values and you can calculate the relative molecular mass. Our next topic is gram molecular mass. What is gram molecular mass? Gram molecular mass of a substance is its relative molecular mass expressed in gram. Okay. Again in this one we have to take the relative molecular mass, but we have to express it in terms of grams, then it is called gram molecular mass. Gram molecular mass of some of the substances are given in this table. For example, hydrogen. What is the molecular formula of hydrogen? H2. Then relative molecular mass is 2 hydrogen are there and atomic mass is 1. 2 into 1 is 2. Gram molecular mass particulate 2 grams. Again oxygen. The molecular formula of oxygen is O2. What is the atomic mass of oxygen? 16. 2 atoms of oxygen is there. 2 into 16, that is 32. And the gram molecular mass is 32 grams. Next is for chlorine. The molecular formula is Cl2. Atomic mass of chlorine is 35.5. We'll multiply this with 2 because 2 Cl2 is written. That is 71. We'll write 71 gram. Next is water. Formula of water is H2O. Since 2 hydrogen are there, we'll take 2 into 1. Atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. 2 into 1 plus 16, 18. 18 grams. Hydrogen chloride, HCl, hydrochloric acid. For this one, 1 hydrogen is there. 1 plus 1 Cl is there. 35.5. That is 65.5. That is 65.5 grams. Next one is carbon dioxide. Formula of carbon dioxide is CO2. Atomic mass of carbon is 12. Plus oxygen, how many oxygen atoms are there? 2. 2 into 16 will take, 16 into 2 is 32, 32 plus 12 is 44, that is 44 grams. After that, sulfuric acid, the formula of sulfuric acid is H2SO4. So for this one, how many hydrogen atoms are there? 2 hydrogen atoms. Will multiply 2 with 1 because 1 is atomic mass of hydrogen. For sulfur, atomic mass is 32 plus 4 oxygen atoms are there. 4 into 16 will do because 16 is atomic mass of oxygen. If we'll solve this, we'll get 98, and 98 gram is the gram molecular mass of sulfuric acid. Next topic is mole concept. Okay, but okay, let's see what is the definition of mole. A mole is equal to 6.0023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms or molecule. So what is the value of 1 mole? 1 mole is equal to 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms or molecules. This is also called Avogadro's number and is represented by capital N. So what is mole? It is equal to 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms or molecule. It is also called Avogadro's number and it is represented by N. Okay, this is a table given in the textbook. Molar mass of a substance in one column. In next column they have given mass in grams, and in the third column they have given mass of atoms of a substance. If we take 1 mole of the molecules, then mass in gram will be molecular mass in gram, and number of substance present in it will be 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 number of molecules. Similarly, if we'll take 1 mole of carbon atoms, then what will be the mass in gram? 12 gram of carbon atoms, and the number of atoms will be 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. Means if we will take 1 mole of a substance and if it is expressed in grams, then the number of substance will be present in it will be 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. Okay, next. Mole represent the number of atoms or molecules in 22.4 liters of any gas at a standard temperature and pressure. That is called STP. This is a full form of STP, standard temperature and pressure. The volume 22.4 liters is also called gram molecular volume. What is the mole? It is a number of atoms present in how many liters of a gas? 22.4 liters of a gas. It is sometimes also called gram molecular volume. The volume 22.4 liter is also called gram molecular volume. So in this video or in this tutorial, we'll do till here only. Rest of the topics I will cover in the next video. So whatever chapters we have discussed till now, go through whatever topics we have discussed till now, go through those topics once. If you have any doubt, you can comment in the comment section so that I can clear your doubts. In the next video, I will cover the rest of the topics and I will give a summary of this chapter also so that it will be a quick revision for you. Okay. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe my channel Science Learning Gateway and share this tutorial with your friends also so that it will be helpful for them. For the previous chapter number 1, 2 and 3, you can go to the playlist of class 8 and check the explanation as well as the solution of that chapter over there. Thank you for watching.